Hey everyone, this is Adam Perry with TrueDFS, and unfortunately, we have no hockey this week other than what is it, the Four Nations Cup. So we've got like a showdown slate on Wednesday, maybe another showdown slate or a two-gamer if we're lucky. So I tried to think like what can I do? What else do I play? And so this is going to be just a short video to go over my NBA showdown process. There's not like anything special about this slate, and there's nothing too special about my process, but I figured, it's a time to talk it through for me, and maybe that'll help me, learn some things about what I do, because I'm kind of just, I do it so often every night that I kind of go through the motions. And at the same time, maybe it's a way for me to get some feedback from you guys about what I'm doing. But I do think I have although it's a short process and we'll probably have a short video, I do think it's a good process that gets me a positive EV result. And I say that because just looking at the post-lock sims and Saber Sim, I'm pretty happy with that. And I've looked good in other stuff. And that's kind of one thing maybe it's worth talking about is like I always try and see if there's a way for my process to look good in more than one person or company's contest sims and their post-contest sims. Because if you could look good in Saber Sim and you use Saber Sim, that doesn't tell you that much. But if you could look good across two or three different sites or people who run sims, like then your process is pretty robust. So I'm pretty happy with how the results go. Most days I look good across places. So hopefully maybe you learn something from this too. That's the goal, is to just see process and to get an idea for how you might play these. And, I'm not a no ball guy, but, we'll go through a few things on this slate. I already set it up and built my 5,000 lineups because I didn't want to, I wanted to be a short video and just pop in. And I don't think you want to wait while it builds them. Sometimes that could be a bit slow. I don't build to the 50K max salary. Now, you would think like if your process is good, maybe you can build low duplicated lineups that max the salary out. But I've just always found that's a recipe for disaster. I was playing like the afternoon one on the, what was it, Milwaukee and the Pelicans, or who did they play? Milwaukee played Philly yesterday, and the winning lineup won $200 when it was like 10K to first, and it wasn't even a high-owned captain. It was like a Bobby Portis captain lineup, but everyone got on that full salaried Bobby Portis lineup that looked really good, and it won. And I don't know how many people even made money winning that. They got $200 back. So unless you didn't come close to max entering, you lost money by a lot, probably even winning the slate. It was like duped 90 times or something. So, I kind of, as they say on lulls, I think, bully the optimizer. I think it's just give me lineups under 50K. The sim ROIs will take care of the rest. So I built 5,000 lineups, not just strength 200 from the max salary. And I'm happy with that. And then the other thing I do is I upload my own projections and ownership. And because of that, Saber Sim has this option where you could generate a field. And if you're confident in your ownership, you might as well, I think, for the showdowns, go ahead and create the field. So, I did that here and built my field already of what I think people are going to do. And I think it's a good way. Saber Sim has good out of the box fields and you could use them, but I found that it really lumped me in with all the other Saber Sim users. So this was a way to get a little bit different. And since I like my ownership and think it does pretty well night in and night out, I think that I'm pretty happy using it to create a field that's different and that I think looks pretty good. Once I create these during my process before lock, what I like to do, this is kind of jerry-rigging it, but just to make sure there's duplicates I click everyone in the lineup to see exactly how many times that lineup shows up. So like this top single game metric lineup in my field is duped 8 times, which is good. Like that's probably how it should be. And this is kind of what I'm talking about with playing these low owned captains is, and I don't think I have Vanderbilt at that low ownership, but these kind of lower owned captains can sometimes dupe a lot. So you got to be careful. Now, last thing I'm going to say, I looked at this before, and projections will change as we get closer to lock. But right now, if you notice in my projections, I have LeBron with a higher projection than Luka. Now, I'm not a no ball guy, but Luka Doncic in his debut at home, first game in LA, I don't know. I'm going to give the nudge to Doncic over LeBron, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see how the industry projects it. And I will go with what the industry has, and maybe the baselines are there. I don't know, but I've got a hunch Luka is going to be hoping to have a game tonight. So just a thought. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'll go and create my sim, and you'll see I already did that. And when you do it, you go add contest sim, and then you pick your field, and I pick my field. So instead of running against SaberSim's fields of what they think people are going to do, I'm going to run it against mine. So here goes nothing. Run contest sim. Then we'll see what our top 20 look like. Now, there's one last thing I like to do, which I kind of alluded to, which is get some of these lower projected guys out of the captain. It depends on the slate, but when you do this, you tend to filter into the same low-owned value play captain lineups that everyone else does, and you get higher duplication than expected. So I wish I had like a great process where my field was so good that it knew exactly which ones, we're going to have Walker Kessler as the captain and not be duped 20 times, and which ones were going to be duped 20 times. But frankly, I just don't. Now, of course, I'm making a video and my sim is just running and running. So that's not good. Thanks. Got a little snag in SaberSim. So let's see. Is there a way to there we go. Took a while. Usually it's instant. So let's just see what our exposures look like. We've got a lot of Jordan Vanderbilt. I mean, I didn't have his projection being that low. I mean, I built a field with the assumption that Jordan Vanderbilt's going to be on 12%, and it still wants me to play 15%. I'm a little worried he gets steamed up a little, assuming the slate would lock now. The same thing with this Doncic thing. I mean, I have him at 20%, but that's because I have him lower than LeBron. I mean, I don't think that's how it's going to be when we get closer to lock and the projections settle throughout the day, but we'll see. But I'd mostly be inclined to just go with it. These guys have decent projections, and let's see. I mean, they don't rate as great of values as like Vanderbilt and even as good as LeBron or Luka, but when you play, let's see what happens. Like when you play a John Collins lineup, you get LeBron, you don't get Luka in there. But you get a lot of high projected guys. So, I just assume go with the process and play these. I do tend to kind of have a preference for some of the higher projected kind of stud captains. But if I don't get them, I don't get them. And this is about how I would run my 20 lineups. I might give it a little bit of an overview just to make sure nothing is too low projected. And that's it. I download it or I save it right to my contest once I have that uploaded, and I go. And that's my process for NBA Showdown. If you have any questions, subscribe, and join us in Discord, and check out TrueDFS.com because you could get access to our premium content and you could chop it up with us in Discord and stuff. And we really love to do that. And you can get access to SaberSim plus Goldie's projections and Sheets' projections for all this stuff at just about the same price as SaberSim. So you use the same tools with those projections. It's pretty powerful. And it's a way to get different from all the other users. So give us a like and subscribe, and keep joining us on these streams, and join us in Discord. We would love to have you. And good luck with your own processes. I hope this was insightful in some way. I know it's a simple, short look. And good luck as well.